Okay, so now we're going to go further in depth into the add, edit, and copy line functions here. So if I edit this line that I've already got built here, we can see if I undo last selection, it'll remove my sync, and now I have the option to add, edit, and all these additions here. So in terms of straight pipe sections, you can change the number of types you have. So 4 is the standard, and you don't really need more than 1 or 2, I guess. So if you just automatically click edit, it will set your pipe sizing to the same as your sink connection size. So in this case it's 200 schedule 40 pipe and 1 meter. You can change your material using and the length. Easier to keep it as a 1 meter length, and then you can adjust, you can resize your pipeline length as you go as need be. You can also add bends, and obviously when you go to add another pipeline, if you click add pipe, it will keep adding pipe sections to it, and undo last selection will remove them. You can change your joint type to flanged, and we'll add a flange each joint type, or welded, depending on how your pipe is actually attached. Your current heading is north, and as you change that, so if I add a bend, it will change where I'm heading. It's quite handy if you're building quite a more complex piping system. So in terms of pipe bends, so I want to have, again, obviously you need the same pipe size. You can change your material again. Turn angle 90 degrees is obviously a right angle turn as standard, and then your radius to diameter is a ratio set by how sharp the bend needs to be. So whether it's a perfect right angle or whether it's a nice smooth one. Your diameter, the ratio of 2 is a standard ratio, and then you can turn right, up, left, down. It's quite self-explanatory, and if you turn right, you can then go up, down. If you go, it'll also sometimes say north, south, east, or west if you're coming out of a pump or something like that. So you can also add orifice, venturis, and valves. So in terms of an orifice, here you have your sizing again, and then you have your orifice ID, which is normally all you really change, because all of these other things, and if you show the definition, this is your length here, this is set by what pipe section you choose. So we had 240. Okay. And you also have valve options. So here you have 4 different types of valves to choose from: butterfly, ball, gate, and globe. And if you look at your valve curve, you can see how your stem position will change with your valve opening area. So it's to do with your characteristic curve of your valve. So if you have something provided by a manufacturer, you can edit this, and it'll reflect your actual valve you have in your piping network. Again, so you can see the difference between a globe valve, which is that characteristic curve, and a butterfly valve. You can also change your set open position, in this case 100%, and your stem position. So obviously open would be 100% and you set it as 50. You can adjust that later. If you have an orifice, you can change your orifice ID, and you have a venturi, you have other things to change from. Basically it's choosing from, this is your outside and this is your inside of your venturi, and again you have a definition there, this is your L2. Quite straightforward. Pumps and compressors. So again you have pump, compressor, and expander to choose from. So your pump, you can edit your pump curve. This is more a little bit more complex, and you have, again, just more data to edit. You can return to your default curve, which is quite handy. As you change things, it'll adjust everything else. So messed around too much, go back to default. You can also have linear and polynomial interpolated data points. So change it to carbon steel, stainless steel. If you're trying to build a heat exchanger, you can go equal type, equal flow tube bundles, and so for example stainless, and you can have single pass or double pass. That's just how many times it goes through. So that's, for example, single row, multi-row. So if you're trying to build a cylindrical heat exchanger, you can go circular tube bundle, and you can change it to manifold or tube section. So for example, tube section, you can then choose dome end cap, or you can choose triangular pitch or square pitched, and you can change all these various things, and you can choose your bundle diameter. Your cone and dish sections, that's fairly self-explanatory, and it's got definitions as you go here. So it's changing, basically resizing your pipe through various shapes. Or if I add a dish, that's your definition there. To edit a line, so if you have a specific line selected, again by clicking and selecting, you can edit the line by clicking edit existing line, and we'll edit the line you've gone. If you go add a new line, it will add a new line, a second line as you go, and if you have a line selected and you copy that line, you can create copies of this. Either you can choose how many copies you want to create and displace them, offset each new line by north, south, or up, north, south, east, west, and up and down. We can also radially copy these lines by an axis rotation as you go. Okay, I hope this has been helpful, and we'll see you again soon.